This video is going to be repurposing glass-topped end tables. Because of the young children in the house, we don't like this glass. So we're going to get rid of this. Now what I've done is I've cut some tiles from leftovers from doing our house with these floor tiles. Using my tile cutter, I've cut them down to the appropriate size that they will fit perfectly on top. Now what I plan on doing, I marked them so I know which pieces go to which table. What I plan on doing is cut on a piece of plywood that will fit inside here. I'm going to adhere those tiles on top of the plywood and make it an insert for these tops. And then we're going to clean them up and respray them with some black and make it look like brand new again. Let me cut the wood, mount the tiles with my tile adhesive, and I will continue. Okay, my boards are cut. Now the next step is to mount the board to the back of the tiles. What I've done is I've laid them down. I've lined up how I want them to go together. I have marks on these to differentiate between the two tables. The board, when I cut the board, I cut it 1/4 inch smaller, so it is an 1/8 inch smaller on both sides, no matter which way you go. That gives it a little bit of free movement this way, so when I set it in, I can line up the tile to the edge of the table and not have an overlap of the table or an overlap of the tile. It gives it a little bit of free room. I've marked it with my pencil exactly where I want it to go. I've already used the tape measure and made sure that all my spacing all the way around is exactly the same, so it's a nice center. That way when this is adhered together, it will drop right into that table and won't give us any problems. I'm going to use a tile adhesive with a trowel and apply a liberal coat to the wood, to the tiles on the backs. I'm making sure that those are nice and tight because I have a little finish I want to put on the top when I'm done. So let me get these glued down and I will continue. Now once you have your board back down on your tiles, you can go back in before it sets up and check your measurements all the way around. Make sure you're still nice and even all the way around, nice and square. If you have to move it a little, now's the time to do it. It will move before the sealer sets up. If you have too much excess on the edge, you can take your finger and wipe it off so you don't have any lifting when you put it back in your table frame. And that's pretty much it. You let this dry, give it a little push down if you're happy where it's at, and after it's cured, it will be a nice, solid, firm tabletop for you. Let me do the other side and I will continue my video. Okay, for the top, since there's no real grout line, just a small black line where these tiles meet, what I've done is I've mixed up a little bit of my sanded grout here. It's a pretty close color to the tiles of what I'm working with here. I'm just going to put a little bit in there just to kind of smooth out that black line. Being that these are just end tables and they're going to go on our back porch, I don't need the kids spilling anything down in here. And once it's dry, it'll look a little better than just a black line. You can still see a line, but it's a much nicer finish in the end. Once we get the table frames finished and touched up, I'll mount these on top of it and I'll shoot some video.